Welcome to Wrestling Exposed. What are we calling it?
Calling it the real world of
Professional wrestling. So Wrestling Exposed, the real world of professional wrestling. We're back again after a bit of a hiatus, sorting things out. But now we're back on a regular basis with our wrestling review podcast where we talk about the sport of professional wrestling. It is a sport.
It is a real sport.
It is.
Confirmed that many times.
I know. I've even seen a badge that says wrestling is my favourite sport or something.
So there you go. That's fact, not fiction.
Exactly. They wouldn't print. People don't print lies.
So anyway, it's been a long time, but where do we start?
Well, I think Hogan is the prime place to start. Hogan going to TNA.
And he's willing to bring in, I believe, Macho Man.
He wants to bring in the Macho Man. So will they put their musical beef behind them, do you think? Or do you think they'll...
Well, after listening to, what was the song called?
Be a Man Hulk.
Be a Man Hulk. I can't see it happening.
I could see a feud and maybe a rap-off between...
Well, Hogan was more of a singer, wasn't he?
He
He
true.
did Hulkster in Heaven.
Hulkster in Heaven.
And hits like that, so...
It's...
They could maybe they could mix their styles and have Macho Man rapping over.
Yeah, maybe they'll join forces. Maybe they'll get the love back that they had over Miss Elizabeth years ago.
Yeah, I mean that's only. You can
but then she's dead now, isn't it? Lex Luger killed her.
her.
Well, okay, that's debatable, but
all right, well, we'll not go back there.
It was an accusation.
Well, it was a beautiful storyline when Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth basically had a rocky relationship because Ric Flair was following her around with a camera and taking photos of her.
But Rick Paparazzi Flair.
Yeah, but I mean, how would you compare that to the breakup between Rey Mysterio and Batista?
I don't know. That's another big storyline. How Batista suddenly just hates Mysterio because he stopped him from winning his World Heavyweight Championship. Well, I don't see his name on it. I see the Undertaker's name on it.
Well, it does belong to Batista.
Oh, he paid for it,
yeah,
did he?
He paid
for
it.
Then it's rightfully his.
But I mean, it's tragic, isn't it? Such a good friendship. And
I know, and the way that Rey Mysterio used the Eddie Guerrero card as well is pretty poor.
It is.
But luckily, Batista pointed out for everybody that wasn't aware that Eddie Guerrero is actually dead.
Yeah.
I thought that was a storyline, so I was thinking, what?
Well, it's.
Are you sure he's not coming back for Survivor Series?
I'm pretty sure he's not coming back for Survivor Series, but I don't know. It's going to be a bit of a mismatch because Rey Mysterio's head is probably about the size of one of
Batista's biceps.
Boobs. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one. I can't see it progressing.
And Rey Mysterio will soon be in prison for paedophilic crimes anyway, because as he comes to the ring, he always kisses young children wearing masks.
Have you heard his son is apparently going to join wrestling?
No.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio's only about 14, so how's he got a son?
He's got a son.
He's a child himself.
He didn't he fight Eddie Guerrero for custody of his son? And now
which son was Dominic? Was it?
I'm not sure what their names are, but one of them is actually joining wrestling.
Well, they had a adoption agreement on a ladder.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Why do we not get storylines like that anymore? I suppose it all depends on the wrestlers' private lives, I guess.
I suppose. Yeah, no one's had that much controversy.
Yeah, I know.
Recently.
They need to get some more controversial characters so we get storylines like that. Why am I saying storylines? Sorry. Real life events.
Facts, exactly. I mean, what do you think at the moment? They've tried to integrate wrestling with boxing a little bit recently with Ricky Hatton.
Ricky Hatton on Raw.
Involved. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, I enjoyed his punch on Chavo. I think Chavo's underused, but there's nothing you can do about it. But Ricky Hatton was pretty terrible. I've never seen anything like it.
You didn't
before.
like the fight between Hatton and Chavo?
No, it demeaned the sport for me.
Really? Well, I mean,
it looked scripted, and I don't think wrestling should be scripted in any way, shape, or form. It's an art form and a sport, and it shouldn't be treated with such disdain.
I don't honestly see a huge difference between professional wrestling and boxing. I mean, did you watch Valuev versus Hayes?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Good storyline coming.
There was a very good storyline. One was small and one was massive.
That's right. And obviously, at the end, they decided who had the best mic skills.
Yeah.
Who
exactly
who entertained the crowd more and gave him the belt.
And I think David Hay, he's been working hard for that belt, and I'm glad they give it to him. I hope that he uses it wisely and that he doesn't sort of lose in some stipulation match or something next, which could happen.
Money in the Bank.
Yeah, Money in the Bank match with Valuev might win a suitcase full of money. I don't understand that Money in the Bank thing. Why don't they just win like why do they have to carry around the suitcase wherever they go? What's in it that makes them automatically get a title
shot? It's not money in a bank, is it? Because it's in the briefcase.
Yeah,
So.
It's not in a bank. It should be called money in a briefcase, but then it's not money because you don't have to pay for a title shot, do you?
Maybe you do. Maybe.
Why didn't JBL have about 25 billion title shots and he could have afforded loads?
Oh. No, I mean, you're right, actually. $1 Million Man did try to buy the belt and they
he
took
did.
it back off him.
I wonder if Ted DiBiase Jr. will try and buy the belt. Or has he spent all his money on Randy Orton's car that got smashed up by Kobe Kingston?
I must admit I missed that. But
yeah, Kobe Kingston, what he did is the Legacy bought Randy Orton a car and he loved it. And then Kobe Kingston, I'm calling him Kobe because Ozzy Osbourne, Sharon Osbourne actually called him Kobe rather than Kofi. And it's amazing how you can be Jamaican one week and the next week come from Ghana.
Maybe he found his birth certificate and found out his parents.
Yeah, that's what happened. I reckon that's what happened. But his accent just suddenly changed. It must have been such a shock to his system that his accent just suddenly changed to an American one from a Jamaican.
Yeah, that's a strange one, isn't it?
It could, you don't know what's happening. But yeah, of course, back to Hogan because we've sidestepped quite a bit. But yeah, he's trying to bring in all these brilliant old men, basically. And I was arguing earlier, saying I think they should be a cut-off age now for wrestling. That they should have no more wrestlers, like only wrestlers over 30 from now on, because otherwise, it's going to be too polluted. Otherwise, Brutus Beefcake will be out of a job, and until he's dead or in a wheelchair, he should be wrestling.
Maybe he could just go back to cutting hair because apparently that's what he does.
He does cut lots of hair. We've been through this.
Okay.
Have you seen him cut some hair with some garden shears?
No.
Yes,
I didn't have a microscope or a zoom on my TV to see where he'd actually cut anyone's hair.
He cut loads of hair.
No.
But regardless, I don't want to see these guys out of a job, so therefore, any wrestler that's now under 30 should be gassed and killed. So that these old wrestlers still...
Rey Mysterio, Junior, better get involved pretty quickly if you want to.
It's too late. I don't want to see Brutus Beefcake out of a job. I want TNA to now become WCW in 1991 or 2.
Speaking of TNA, what do you think of their new British wrestlers?
The British Invasion.
Wallace and Gromit, whatever.
Wallace and Gromit. There's Oblivion from Gladiators.
Is he really?
He was a gladiator, right, in the English thing.
Who's there's one guy called Rob.
Oh, Rob. Oh, I can't remember what his name is. The guy with the massive mullet.
That's right.
Yeah, he's Welsh.
He's Welsh, isn't he?
Yeah, he's Welsh.
I heard he campaigns against steroid abuse in his
of course he does. Yeah. I think it's the other way around. He campaigns for steroid use.
I don't know.
I agree with him though. I think steroids are a rite of passage for a wrestler. It did Hulk Hogan no harm whatsoever.
He didn't take steroids.
Just fair enough. Prayers and bits. Okay, well, Benoit did no harm whatsoever.
Okay,
Might have done his family some harm, but for him it did no harm whatsoever.
Well, he did try this at home, didn't he?
He did try it at home.
It wasn't...
He shouldn't have tried it at home. He should have kept it in the ring.
But please, don't try this at home. That means you too, Chris Benoit.
Yes. He didn't realise that it applied to the wrestlers as well. Do you think The Undertaker tries undertaking at home? Or his pathetic term of undertaking? Because he does no work whatsoever.
Well,
in a recession, you'd think he'd be working a bit harder, but no, he's just doing less.
And this, in light of the fact... I mean, I would have forgiven him if he was dead. He'd be quite immobile, he couldn't really move around, and, he wouldn't be able to work that much. But Chris Jericho, completely breaking kayfabe,
I know,
revealed that The Undertaker...
It's actually just a bloke.
It's just a bloke.
Pretending to be dead.
He's not
really I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I fell out of my seat.
I honestly thought he was dead.
I couldn't... Yeah.
It takes him, 2.5 minutes
He can activate the lights with his hands. No person alive can do that.
That's true. I mean, they haven't actually scientifically proved how he does that yet.
No, I know, true. So Jericho could be lying. But true. Anyway, they wasted Jericho versus Undertaker on SmackDown. 10 years. 10 years in the making, and the match was good, but I don't know. They could have done it for WrestleMania or something, but
anyway, they want someone that's actually going to beat Undertaker at WrestleMania. It's not going to be just...
No, I think Hogan's the only person that could beat Undertaker.
Well, he's on TNA now. How are WWE going to compete with
True.
Hogan? Are they going to get
No
Gabe
one
back?
can compete with...
Will they get Gabe back?
Gabe from the $1 million giveaway that happened about a year and a half ago on Raw that no one's going to remember.